Yeah,
Do you think it was
we agree he
affirmative
shouldn't have
action?
gotten it. The question is what she's
Do you think it was
asking.
affirmative action? I'm asking.
I don't know why they gave it to him. I
Do you think it was
No,
affirmative action?
But the question is affirmative action. That's what Donald
That's
Trump
what Donald
Jr.
Trump
is saying.
I don't know what that means in this context.
Stop trying to defend him just to
on.
defend
I feel
like
him.
you should watch
I
the
think you
news.
should stop trying to say.
We
So you agree that it's not
we gotta leave.
affirmative
We gotta
action
leave
works
it
than
there.
Your hand is very close
We
to my
have
face.
to hold on.
It's not done. It's not done.
You
is
didn't
what
watch.
we're saying.
You didn't watch the news yesterday. They
It's
literally
not
announced
done.
it in the Oval
It's
Office.
not. Let me ask you a question.
Literally in the Oval
Can I say
Office.
something?
Friday
said something.
afternoon.
You said something. Do you believe that he tells the truth?
Yeah, I do.
Every time.
You think
all presidents do
you
that?
think the
All
president
presidents?
tells the truth? This current president tells the truth often.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Then it's not affirmative action then.
You wouldn't say
So you
it was
would agree with us. It's not. We're agreeing with you.
It was a political decision they made.
Okay, so we can
not
say
an affirmative action
because
decision.
we agree.
Look,
We agree.
Hello, everybody. Guys, let's get right into the segment. Scott Jennings, he just cannot push back against racism. He starts to have a malfunction. He looked like he was going to explode. Check this out, and we'll talk about it.
it's safe to say that Donald Trump has prize envy. He thinks he deserves one, whether it's for his role in the Israel-Iran conflict or India versus Pakistan. And while he's been nominated before, many times actually, it was Barack Obama who won in a controversial decision during the first few months of his presidency. But while the president thinks that it's because he's a Republican, his son thinks it's because of his race. Don Jr. says, quote, affirmative action is when Barack Obama gets the Nobel Peace Prize instead of Donald Trump. For the record, even Barack Obama was like, why did you give this to me?
Yeah, why did I win? Yeah. You know, by the way,
But he was more than happy to accept it, wasn't he?
By the way, real quick, Ferrari has not given me my car yet. I don't know why Ferrari hasn't delivered me my car.
You deserve it.
Yeah, I deserve
Mike.
that Ferrari.
Yeah, you deserve that Ferrari.
Look, this is a classic example of kind of both things can be true at the same time. Like the Nobel Peace Prize, we're not on the Nobel Peace Prize committee. Obama, like you said, shouldn't have gotten it. He got it for peace and diplomacy, I think, was some of the criteria that they mentioned. And we had deployed troops later on in Afghanistan, and the Iraq stuff didn't end until 2010 with our troop deployment.
Yeah, and he had barely been president.
He had barely been president, and there was a
Yeah.
conflict in Gaza that was happening in 2009 that had just ended as he was coming into office. So, why did he win it? Also, Donald Trump, FYI, if you want to win the award, how about you
petition
do
for it.
establish peace in the region?
Don't
You
wanna
did not
campaign.
broker
He did.
peace between
He
India
has.
and Pakistan. We don't know that that's going
What
to
about
happen.
the
It's a
Abraham
ceasefire.
Accords?
The Abraham Accords was in
And they're
2017.
expanding them
That
right
was-
now.
Okay, let me know when they're expanded. And then we'll
They're
come
doing it
back
right
to
now.
it. When it happens, I can't
What
give
about the
somebody
peace deal in
something based on a
Rwanda today?
hypothetical. On Rwanda, tell me about what he did in Rwanda.
They've had a 30-year conflict over there. They had him in the Oval Office on Friday afternoon. I mean, they should have.
All right, well, his application is
Okay, his
pending.
application. So you can apply. No, that's what I'm saying. But Scott, there's a
His
difference between
application is
applying for
pending.
something
And
later
now,
on.
and now he's helping Israel and Iran
What a peacemaker.
settle this thing after a couple of weeks. I mean, Barack Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize in 2009. He should not have accepted it. But I will remind you all what he did after he got it. He dropped tens of thousands of bombs on several other countries. He ordered thousands of drone strikes, including on an American citizen, vaporizing people. This was probably the biggest non-peace president of our
Do you think it was
lifetime. And yet
affirmative
he's got
action?
his trophy. He
Do you
got
think
his
it was
trophy
affirmative
because he
action?
won an election.
Yeah,
Do you think it was
we agree he
affirmative
shouldn't have
action?
gotten it. The question
Do you
is what
think
she's
it was
asking.
affirmative action? I'm asking.
I don't know why they gave it to him. I
Do you
think
think
it
it
was
was affirmative action?
But the question is affirmative action. That's what Donald
That's
Trump
what Donald
Jr.
Jr.
is
is
saying.
saying.
I don't know what that means in this context. I think they gave it to him because they love the idea of Barack Obama without thinking about the actual Barack Obama, who
Okay, so
turned
then
out to
it's
be
not-
a complete and total
So then it's
warmonger.
not affirmative action then.
You wouldn't say
So
it
you
was
would agree with us. It's not. We're agreeing with you.
It was a political decision they made.
Okay, so we can
not
say
an affirmative action
because-
decision.
we agree.
Look,
we agree.
I think that one of the
I think he was scared of Kerry. Kerry's looking down on him like the little racist worm he is. He says he doesn't know what Don Jr. meant about affirmative action. This guy is such a little lying piece of garbage coward. You know what he meant. A black guy won the award. He says it was affirmative action. You cannot put two and two together what he was saying there. I mean, this is unbelievable. Remember how red he gets when speaking about not even anti-Semitism, protests on campus. He freaks out over that. But racism against people of color, he doesn't know what's going on where he is. He just will not condemn racism against people of color specifically. But if it's a Jewish person, he loses his mind. And I think he does that because I presume he needs the funding from AIPAC for his Senate election in Kentucky that he will run for. And I don't want to show this clip again, but fast forward if you've seen this clip again. look at Scott Jennings when talking about the cats and dogs comment that Trump said. Check this out for the 100th time.
That I think you would agree puts a target on the backs of Haitian immigrants and that it is based on racism. Would you agree on that?
Anti-black racism will be more pointed.
Do you think that if there were 20,000 Scandinavians that had been sent to Springfield, people would be saying that they're eating cats and dogs and geese?
I'm not going to answer for
Why
him,
not?
for his memes or anything else. But I am
No,
going
but I'm asking you, do you think that conspiracy is based on racism?
Because
I mean, it's an
because
easy
because
yes or no.
I'm not going to answer. I don't know. I don't know.
That was a
But here-
long pause, Scott. I mean,
because I don't know the answer, and I'm not going to sit here and answer for somebody.
No,
I don't talk to Donald
no,
Trump
I'm
about
asking you
what the
about
motivations
what is
are,
the
and I
answer?
don't answer to you either.
But Scott,
but
what is the answer for you?
I mean, if Scott Jennings is not a racist, I don't know who is. He just cannot push back against it. He gets either extremely angry that he got cornered, like a little worm that he is, or he does this little, I don't really know what he meant by this. It's unbelievable.
The things with Trump, first of all, his applications, plural, are pending. And but one of the reasons that I think it's just unclear is he likes to claim victory before things are done. You know,
Fully done.
Fully done. And I think it's important to know, is there going to be, he said he would end the war in Ukraine, not ended.
Right.
War in Gaza, not ended. This ceasefire between Israel and Iran, we have been here before as a planet. And it doesn't necessarily hold. So there's a lot that's unknown, even though I know that he wants credit for it. I understand why he wants credit for it, but it's just not done.
But you would admit there was nothing known when they gave it to Obama.
Yeah,
we know plenty about Trump right
I
now.
don't think anybody disagrees with you.
So,
on
so
that, Scott.
you admit then his resume today is stronger than Obama's in 09?
No, that's not what we admit.
No, because
Why?
Because
Why
Obama
is that not true?
Obama wasn't president for a first term. Trump
Right.
was already
So he-
president.
so he had done
So
nothing.
they didn't have the same resume.
One had a resume. I mean, at least you can like or dislike Donald Trump and what his record is, but at least you can make a judgment off of it. I think the thing that perturbed a lot of folks and perturbed a lot of the American people, if you look back in the polling and say, even then, even when Obama's approval rating was sky high at the beginning of his presidency, the majority of Americans didn't think he deserved the Nobel Peace Prize. And it's stuff like that I think...
Neither did he.
Right.
But he accepted it.
Yeah, look.
And he's not petitioning
The
for it.
noble thing to have done would have been to have turned it down.
But to your point, the job's not finished. In sports, they always say that. May Kobe Bryant rest in peace. Job's not done. A foreign minister from Rwanda told CNN, he said he's committed to supporting this ongoing negotiation, but warned that ending the conflict will depend on political will and the good faith. And he doesn't know if that is true, referring to the DRC's government. It's not done. It's not done.
You didn't watch the news yesterday. They literally announced it in the Oval Office.
Let me ask you a question.
Literally in the Oval
Office.
Office.
Can I say something?
Friday afternoon.
You said something earlier. You said, and you kind of agree with Pete, when he says there's something about the media where they feel like they want to disprove Donald Trump. Is that what you said? Something to that effect?
It happens every day.
And you think that's what they want to do, right? You think the media is going in to say he's lying and he's not telling the truth. You believe that?
That is the
wholeheartedly.
standing disposition.
Do you believe that he tells the truth?
Yeah, I do.
Every time?
You think
all presidents do
you
that?
think the
All
president
presidents?
tells the truth? This current president tells the truth often.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I also think that, to our point that we haven't established, he does announce things before it's too soon.
They literally had the
program is
countries
not
in there.
The program isn't.
I feel like you should watch the news before you come out here.
I feel like you should stop trying to defend him just
Hang
to
on.
defend
I feel like
him.
you should watch
I think
the
you
news.
should stop trying to say.
news.
So you agree that it's not.
We gotta leave
Affirmative action
it there.
Your hand is very close
We
to my
have
face.
to hold on a
Yes,
second,
understand what I'm
Carrie.
saying.
We have to leave it there. But look, listen. Trump is petitioning for this. We'll see if the Nobel Prize Committee agrees with him. There's still plenty of time to find out about how some of these conflicts get resolved. But next for us.
Guys, somebody in the comments, let me know, is Trump Scott Jennings' secret baby daddy? Like, what the hell is going on here? That was incredible. And he tries to say early on that Obama, he said it 1,000 times, Obama should not have accepted the award. Obama himself said he didn't deserve it. He took it anyways, but said he didn't deserve it. Could you imagine Trump ever saying something like that he doesn't deserve an award? What looks more humble? The guy who said he doesn't deserve an award and took it anyways, or the racist man crying along with his racist son that he doesn't have one and the other one does? Diablo. Alpha males though, right? Just a bunch of bigoted crybabies. That's all I see when I think of Republicans. Papi, make sure your male influencers though that you keep following keep calling you an alpha male. Maybe one day it'll come true. You dumbasses. And my final bit here, every time they don't have a defense, Trump derangement syndrome. But he just could not admit the most obvious things about Trump or what Trump Jr., Don Jr. was saying. Like, it's unbelievable. And Republicans dare to call themselves alpha males, but they're clearly so scared to say even just the most obvious thing. It makes them look even less legitimate because they can't even point out that obviously Trump lies. That's his thing. He lies about everything. And like, what man gushes for another man like that? These are Republican alphas? Assuming Scott is straight, that's effing weird. And I think it's so revealing why they do that. Because they know that at the same time, how pathetic they look defending Trump and how emasculating it must be. And Trump demands it. He wants full, unyielding support, slob on the knob, corn on the cob when he demands it. And they know that. All these Republican pundits, all of them know that. So how do you combat this? You call yourself an alpha male as much as possible and hope you trick some people, which of course it works on Republicans and conservatives because just about everything works on those fools if you word it the right way. But I'm going to leave it there. I went off on enough of a rant there. Let me know what you think in the comments about all this. Please leave a like, subscribe, really helps the channel, really helps push the message out there, and I'll catch you in the next one.